People just can't stop talking about how Ariana Grande has a whole new look.
Ariana's new pics are literally sending shockwaves throughout the internet, and people are saying something is off.
I don't do this often. I don't like it. I'm not good at it.
People are freaking out because Ariana Grande might have a new face.
I'm not good at it and I don't like it, but...
What is happening to Ariana Grande? This is how she looked 2 years ago.
I just wanted to address your concerns about my body and...
The pop singer in particular looked like she might fall apart at any second.
Her eyes look so vacant and eerie now. People are even in disbelief that that's even Ariana.
Talk a little bit about what it means to be a person with a body and to be seen and to be paid such close attention to.
You can probably tell she doesn't quite look like herself.
I think we should be gentler and less comfortable commenting on people's bodies.
When you compare Ariana in 2018 to 2021, the main difference I can see is maybe a nose job.
No matter what, if you think you're saying something good or well-intentioned, whatever it is, healthy, unhealthy, big, small, this, that, sexy, not sexy, we should really work towards not doing that as much.
You have a very dedicated fan base. Would you say you love your fans?
Very much.
Do you love them all the time?
I love them always, but I think sometimes they can hurt my feelings. And sometimes I don't like them, but I love them always.
Change is inevitable, uncomfortable, and oddly fascinating, especially when it happens to people in the public eye. And if there is one celebrity the internet cannot stop scrutinizing for her transformations, it's Ariana Grande. From her early days as a Nickelodeon star to her current status as one of the biggest pop icons in the world, Ariana has evolved in every sense of the word. Yet every change, whether it's her style, her sound, or even her voice in interviews, has been met with countless commentary. But here's the thing, the internet doesn't just notice these changes, it obsesses over them. Hello everybody, it's Nessi, and in this video we'll explore Ariana's evolution through the years and how the internet keeps clinging to the idea that she should stay the same. But is that really fair? Why do we feel so entitled to hold someone's identity hostage to a specific moment in time? That's what we're unpacking in this video, so without further ado, let's dive in. To understand the internet's fixation on Ariana Grande's transformation, we need to go back to where it all started, Victorious. Ariana's first major role as Cat Valentine introduced her as a sweet, quirky sidekick with red hair and an impossible high-pitched voice.
I love karaoke!
Cat was endearing, a little naive, and that image stuck with Ariana even as her career moved beyond Nickelodeon. Fast forward to 2013 and Ariana released her debut album, Yours Truly. It was a love letter to 90s R&B, and with it came a complete departure from her Cat Valentine persona. Critics praised her vocal ability, often comparing her to Mariah Carey, but this praise came with a side of skepticism. Many dismissed her as another manufactured teen star attempting to pivot into serious music. By the time she released Dangerous Woman in 2016, Ariana had completely shed her Nickelodeon skin, the latex bunny ears, the sultry music videos, and the confidence she exuded were a far cry from her bubblegum pop beginnings. But as often happens with women in the public eye, this shift didn't sit well with everyone. Critics labeled her new persona as too sexual or inauthentic. Some fans even mourned the loss of the old Ariana, as if the first version of herself they first fell in love with should be frozen in time. The internet seems to struggle with the idea that people, especially women, can grow and change without it being performative or calculated. Let's dive deeper into Ariana's aesthetic journey, because it's not just about her changing outfits, it's about the evolution of her public image, the statement she makes with her looks, and how the internet can't help but criticize everything. In the Yours Truly era, Ariana's aesthetic was pure 50s inspired glamour. She wore vintage dresses, her hair styled in soft waves, and her makeup was always fresh and simple. It was a classic pop star look that worked for her at the time, especially as she transitioned from being Cat Valentine to a musical artist. But as Ariana's career progressed, so did her fashion choices. By the time we hit My Everything in 2014, Ariana's style had taken a noticeable turn. Her look became sleeker, more mature. It was still girly, but with a little more edge. She was evolving, trying out more mature looks that signaled she wasn't just a bubblegum pop star anymore. But with every shift in Ariana's look, the internet was there, ready to criticize. When she debuted her new fashion in My Everything, some fans were thrilled, but others felt betrayed, saying things like, how could she abandon the sweet persona we all knew and loved? And that leads us to the Dangerous Woman era, which really threw everything into overdrive. Ariana wasn't just releasing an album, she was announcing a new version of herself. The latex bunny ears became symbolic of this era, with Ariana experimenting with sultry, more adult imagery. The shift was noticeable not just in her music, but in how she presented herself. And of course, this didn't sit well with everyone, as Ariana ditched her youthful image for something more mature and confident. The internet quickly criticized her for being too sexual or trying too hard to be seen as an adult, which is a crazy thing to say because this whole backlash painted her as someone desperate for attention. There's this idea in pop culture that women can't express themselves sexually without being accused of losing their authenticity, which is exactly what happened to Ariana. And then came the sweetener era. Ariana's look softened again as she adopted oversized, cozy clothing that matched the airy, experimental vibe of the album. This time, it wasn't about being edgy, it was about feeling comfortable in your own skin. Ariana embraced more minimalist styles, think sweatshirts, sneakers, and sleek ponytails, which I don't know how Ariana did it, this super high ponytails. It's actually pretty uncomfortable to have like a super tight ponytail, and she used to wear them so often and she did it for so long. She did her concerts with those ponytails. Anyways, but of course the internet had to react. Some fans praised her for the change, calling it more relatable and real, while others criticized it as a step backward. So basically Ariana could never win. The moment she embraces comfort, people claim she's abandoning her edge. When she embraces glamour, it's too much. There is a constant cycle of approval and rejection, and in the end, it's clear that people just want to control her image. It's so interesting how the internet, especially social media, is so invested in each new look. Take her more recent looks from the Wicked movie, for example, where she's been sporting more natural makeup and a different body shape. Guess what? The internet freaked out again. People were criticizing her new look, accusing her of being unrecognizable, of being too skinny.
The pop singer in particular looked like she might fall apart at any second, with other fans suggesting they might even be on drugs.
Even her eyebrows were criticized. People say she looks washed out because her eyebrows are bleached as well. It's like no matter what she does, Ariana's physical transformation is always up for debate. If she looks like the old Ariana, people accuse her of being stuck in the past. If she looks different, she's being accused of not being true to herself. Which leads me to say Ariana's evolution isn't just about haircuts or outfit choices. It's about rejecting the idea that a woman's image could only fit into a single narrative. The internet can't seem to grasp grasp that idea. It's like they're holding on to a version of her that exists in their minds, and every time she changes, they act as if she's doing something wrong. Now, let's talk about one of the internet's most contentious debates, Ariana Grande's ethnicity. Over the years, people have accused her of everything from blackfishing to Asian fishing to being too white. At her core, Ariana is an Italian-American woman who has never claimed otherwise. However, her use of tanning, darker makeup, and hairstyles like braids have sparked discussions about cultural appropriation. These conversations are important, especially when it comes to the line between appreciation and appropriation. For example, during her sweetener era, her darker complexion and choice of streetwear led some to accuse her of trying to look black. And yes, she did appear darker, especially in this era. For example, look at these pictures, and you can really see it in this performance with Nicki Minaj. She looks the same skin tone as Nicki Minaj, and she isn't. Also, these pictures too.
Kiyomi, get your ass in here. Come on, girl. You know how people say, like, oh, she thirsty, you know what I mean? I think it's so funny if you be like, nah, bitch, I'm quenched. You know, I love my MAC lipstick. This is the MAC I'm here to talk about today, girl. Come on. I'm like, bitch, that's my cookie. That's my juice, okay? Carry on.
Then, in recent years, her lighter makeup during interviews and Wicked filming sparked a wave of "she's white again" memes. Ariana has addressed this, saying she's constantly learning about how her choices are perceived and that her identity is fluid. Ariana's voice is without a doubt her most iconic feature. From the moment she burst onto the scene, critics and fans alike were mesmerized by her impressive range, with comparisons to Mariah Carey being almost immediate. Ariana was celebrated for her whistle tones and her technical precision, setting her apart from other pop stars. But as time went on, people started noticing changes in her voice, especially during her interviews and live performances. When she released Sweetener and Thank You Next, some fans began accusing her of mumbling or dumbing down her vocals, saying it didn't live up to the powerhouse sound she was once known for. They were used to her belting out high notes, but with the more intimate R&B influenced sound she adopted, her vocal approach became more subtle. And the scrutiny about her voice isn't limited to her music.
Everyone online is attacking Ariana Grande right now because they're saying she changed her voice again.
It also became a topic of heated discussion when Ariana started speaking in a higher pitched voice during interviews.
That's the only thing I thought. That's how I felt. I was like, what has happened? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I've been writing a lot, and maybe there's some more. But
yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course, like with the Thank You Next hook, that's like one of my favorite stories, is Victoria, I was like obsessed with the chords. Like everyone was like, okay, this is like.
And I love your jacket. The sparkles are amazing.
I had a little bling here for today.
Yes. I wanted to find out who made it later. But I think the most important thing is...
Fans and critics speculated that her voice was fake, as if she was putting on a persona trying to maintain a cute girl next door image. And Ariana actually responded by addressing these critiques head-on in interviews and also in some TikTok comments. I swear she's everywhere. She comments on everybody's TikTok. She sees everything. She explained in interviews that her voice naturally fluctuates depending on her mood or the situation, something most of us do without realizing. Her speaking voice, she said, can sometimes sound higher when she's nervous or excited. She didn't intentionally change her voice. It just comes with being in the spotlight for so long. Also, she commented that sometimes when she's doing so many interviews and performing so much, she speaks in a higher, more softer tone in order to protect her voice and to preserve it. It's really not that deep. People just scrutinize everything. Despite her response, the obsession with her voice persists, whether it's the mumbled delivery on Sweetener or the perceived high-pitched persona in interviews. It's clear the internet is uncomfortable with the idea of Ariana changing anything about herself, including her vocal style, and this scrutiny is a reminder that for some reason, women, especially pop stars, aren't allowed to grow or experiment without being harshly criticized. First, there's nostalgia. People miss the version of Ariana that they fell in love with. The internet loves to romanticize the past and place celebrities in these fixed boxes because it makes us feel comfortable. When a celebrity changes, it can feel like we're losing something familiar, something we once connected to. Fans can become possessive over the version of the celebrity they love, leading to backlash and criticism whenever they evolve. But beyond nostalgia, there's also a deeper issue of control. The internet, and by extension the public, wants to maintain ownership over how celebrities present themselves. When Ariana changes her look, sound, or even her voice, it's seen as her defying the expectations people have placed on her. It's as if the internet feels entitled to decide how she should look, act, or sound in order to maintain the image they've grown attached to. We see this happen with so many female celebrities, the pressure to stay the same, to maintain that authentic version of themselves. But authenticity isn't about staying static, it's about evolving and growing. So maybe it's time to let Ariana and other stars evolve without constantly looking back at how they were. The obsession with old Ariana isn't just about nostalgia, it's kinda about control. And it's this need to control that often stifles the growth of public figures, especially women in the industry. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the random subjects that come to my mind. And with that being said, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.